away from that story, but that's a story, you know, it's part of a major campaign here at Joy News. We're seeking justice for kids, that this shouldn't be happening to them. We'll be following up on that and bring you any further development on that. But right now we have to go to Kumasi, where we're going to the Kumasi Central Prisons, where we understand that the Justice for All program, you know, is seeking to free some remand prisoners there. Seth Kwame Boateng is there. We can go over there now.
Okay. Oh, I feel very happy. I feel very happy because I never thought in my mind that this will happen today. So I feel very, very, very happy.
What's your name and how old are you?
Please, my name is Abdallah Majid. I'm 24 years old.
What brought you here?
Please, it seems causing unlawful damage. I spoiled some doors and some, I think, sliding doors. So by God willing, and the justice of all has helped me. I never thought this it would be in this way, but by God's grace, I thank the Almighty God.
How long did you spend in this prison?
Okay, first of all, the count 1, count 2, count 3. I spent the count 1, count 2. I spent 6 months. After serving the 6 months, they sent me to the remand custody for 7 months. So by God willing, the justice of all has been made me to be released. So I thank the Almighty God for being happy.
When are you going home?
Please, actually by somewhere tomorrow or any day they'll use to come and call my name. I think the Almighty God will be in the house.
And what are your expectations as you go home?
Okay, my expectations are I will never, by this opportunity, I will never be in bad movement and or bad any action again. By God willing to, I will make sure I will work very, very, very hard so that those who are watching me right now, they will get the essence of what I'm saying.
Thank you very much. Okay. The inmate too hard. He had his freedom today and he's learned his lessons. He's promising not to repeat what brought him here and ever in his life. We have one more to interview before we speak to Justice Clemens Hunyaniga, who is the chairman of the Justice for a program. Okay. Come.
Lasan Wahab. Stealing case. Sliding doors.
I don't know who are sliding doors.
Those scraps na me say at the woman say or mumpe and I'm a fire and also pay or the year juma. One man I'm here. Me catching say my aim from so for chame. And also there be my sister and I went to the local police station. And I see uncle. And I call police station. And I'm quite chirimana or me 2 and I'm already about 2 years.
Already 2 years?
Yes.
Moko justice for no mo ka say na chero.
Just for no mo me ko any dey nyame adawuru ma o mama kuma to me me su giye o mo discharge me say me ko sign board the o ma say so my yes ade na ma me ma twa 2 years o ma discharge me case no the o ma say pa so
ti wani age say okohu abusuafo
mani age pa so
nti abusuafo mo wo he
o mo wasire
to be called away.
Almost in the almost same board, no, same board, no, we are a bit more.
It is him he for Sanabeko.
Tamaliendi, Missy, Wendy.
2 years of Busia for any badges on Behuon.
We did pa.
Until be a one in prison like be a foot to burn up the Bemon Pacro.
Midman say, Manoko for Biadia, Manoko, you Biadia, Mano Adam for the own channel through Sanomo Basabasani, dear own Jai. And yes, I dear, where the no consortium ma, I want to baba into own Jai. Milk tunnel for pa, dear mother wounded dear, media swing answer to me Kufia, Bessison, my bravo, me dead just for all for us, so my jamming. Some question about some for.
If you say
20 years.
If we name again.
My name is DDP Nelson Dut.
Okay. And welcome to Ashanti region.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So the Justice for team held sitting here, and obviously some of your people or of your children are bail to go home, others have been granted bail. Generally, since you came to this prison and you saw the congestion, how is this Justice for All program going to help in easing the congestion here?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think I reported some 2 weeks ago, and my biggest concern after going around on inspection was the congestion, especially at the remand section. It has been a worry for us over the years, and I think with the introduction of the Justice for All program and what has happened today, it is going to provide a very big relief to us. So it will go a long way to lessen our work. So it is our hope and prayer that tomorrow, when they come to continue, more of them will be granted bail and others may be discharged outright.
In all, how many inmates did you present to the Justice for All team?
Yeah, for the number, we presented 5 from female and then 111 from the male section. So bringing the number up to 116 inmates.
What is huge number?
Yeah, as you are aware, crime rate is increasing. Our cities are expanding, the population is increasing, and many more people are being brought for processing. So the numbers are actually very high. It will interest you to know that as of today, the male section alone has a remand population of about 430 inmates who are
On remand?
On remand, 400.
Seth Kwame Boateng there speaking with some of the prisoners who have been freed or who will be going home soon, and as well as some officers there as well. We'll be getting in touch with Seth live here on the show to find out a bit more about this. But just so you know, the Justice for All program has actually been one of the programs through which a lot of people have come out of the prisons and actually been found engaging in some sort of crime. So that's also a conversation that has to happen. But in all, over 120 remand prisoners have appeared before the Justice for All program, and we, as Seth Kwame Boateng reports, 3 judges sat in the Kumasi Central Prison today to decide their fates. Now, the 2-day sitting is part of efforts to decongest the prisons, of course, across the country, following Joy News' documentaries Locked and Forgotten and Left to Rot, which highlighted the inhumane conditions that remand prisoners endure. We are told also that officials from the United States Embassy here in Ghana have joined in to observe how the Justice for All program is run. They're also hoping to help in the justice delivery system here in Ghana. Seth Kwame Boateng, like I said, has been there. You've seen him, heard him talk to the people. Let's engage him at the moment. Hello, Seth. Seth, if you can hear me, we're looking at about 120. That's just today. Any special reason?
Yes, and it's the reason the judges are sitting today. And
Yes.
You know, last year, the Justice for All team came to this court, and they couldn't attend to most of the inmates, especially those who had spent years on remand, because a year ago or two, they had an issue here. There was a rout here, and the inmates bent their warrants, meaning those who had spent years.
The Justice for All team came to this court, and they couldn't attend to most of the inmates, especially those who had spent years on remand, because a year ago or two, they had an issue here. There was a rout here, and the inmates bent their warrant, meaning those who had spent years here who qualified to be part of the Justice for All program, they could not partake because their warrants couldn't be traced. Is the reason they've added all of them to this special sitting now. Is the reason we have this huge number, for which reason the judges are sitting between today and tomorrow. And very soon I'm going to have the chairman of the Justice for All committee team, Justice Clemens Hunyanuga, and his colleague join me to tell me exactly how proceedings went today. We have the sittings finished a while ago, and I have Justice Hunyanuga is right here with me. So, Your Lordship, thanks for your time and welcome to Joy News. Sittings ended a while ago. How did it go today?
Oh, it went very well. We had 3 courts sitting. And we have one High Court judge who is resident here. Mrs. Angelina Humia Mesa, who sat with us here. She's resident in Kumasi here, who assisted us together with Justice Gometou. And I think everything went on smoothly.
So let's run through the figures. You are having about 120 inmates you are attending to between today and tomorrow. Yes. So tell me about how it went, those who were discharged and those things.
Yeah. Today we dealt with a total of 55. And we are continuing tomorrow. So far, putting all the figures together, we discharged 11. 11 inmates have been discharged. We granted bail to 17, and we refused bail for 15. 9 were absent just because they had been discharged by other courts, or they had been granted bail by the trial courts. And so far, all total 55.
Okay, and people are asking that why this huge number, over 100 plus people that you are attending to, why?
Yes, you see, the position in the Ashanti region is unique. We all know that Ashanti region is the most populous region in Ghana. Yes, we know it, and they have more courts. There are several courts in the region, and therefore we should understand it that way. With the several remands, it goes to show that there are several courts and remanding others. Yeah.
And for how long will we have this continued? Having judges come to this prison to hear cases, then you go back in the next few months, the numbers add up and you have to come back.
Yes, it is rather unfortunate. Everything had been done to, especially to educate those in the lower bench, that is the district court and the circuit courts. Judges. The workshops have been organized, especially on bail. But I don't understand why this situation should continue. And I can assure you that the Honorable Lady Chief Justice is seriously thinking about measures to be put in place to maybe sanction those judges and magistrates who are recalcitrant. Yes.
And you also today had a special visit from the U.S. Embassy. What did they come here to do?
Yes, the Justice for All program has attained an international dimension. And several embassies are really interested in the program. As we said, Danida is our main sponsors. The last time they were with us in Sekendi and in Sawam, they were with us. So today, with the visit of the representative from the U.S. Embassy, we are actually elated. And we think that from that, we'll be able to get some assistance to enable us run the program. Because Danida is ending their assistance in December 2018. They are leaving Ghana altogether. And therefore, we need to get some new entrants to take their place. And with their availability today, we know that from there they can also assist us and then carry on with whatever we've been doing.
Okay. So Gifty, sittings continues tomorrow, and quite a number of inmates are still available to be heard. And I have with me here one judge. It's rare to have a judge to interview.
Right. That only happens on Joy News and with Seth Kwame Boateng.
Okay. And you have been part of the Justice for All program for how long?
This is my 3rd year, and it's been very successful. Last year, I handled close to 70 cases, if I'm not mistaken. And my colleague judges also handled, between the two of them, over 100 cases. And that's helped to reduce the number of inmates on remand. And this year, we hope to attend to all the cases that have been listed and help to reduce the number of remandees by the end of the exercise.
I know that remand cases are often high when Justice for All program goes to a particular area, but it appears in Ashanti region we get more numbers. Any special reason?
Well, it all relates to the number of people arrested for the various crimes. Obviously, if there is no offender, there will not be a remandee. So it has to do with the ratio that we have. And in due course, we should be able to reduce the number. Invariably, most of them had already been granted bail, but they were unable to satisfy the bail conditions. And then looking at the nature of the offenses, you cannot also release them on self-recognizance bail. So we've been able to work around it. Some of them reviewed the conditions further, hoping that they will be able to find sureties for offenses like robbery and aggravated assault and stealing. Releasing them on self-recognizance bail is not a wise thing to do under the circumstance. So.
Okay. And Gifty, before I go, at the Nsawam medium security prisons, there is another remand court. And again, we are privileged to have Justice Hometo join us. And he has been sitting there, and he's also part of this Justice for a program. He goes with us.
I'd like for you to find out from them what measures they are. And I believe you can't hear me. Let's just go ahead.
An issue I'm very passionate about. I have always said on several occasions that the human rights record of Ghana is nothing good to write home about. So I'm very passionate anytime you go out for Justice for All program, because I believe this is my contribution to Mother Ghana. This is my contribution to the judicial, to the justice sector of the Republic of Ghana. Thank you.
One question that my uncle Gifty is asking from the studio is, what measures are we putting in place to mitigate these remand issues, to ensure that we don't remand people like for some of the reasons as it were very minimal, that we could have probably granted bail, but we prefer remanding the inmates?
Well, one of the issues, one of the concerns of the Lady Chief Justice is to ensure that the remand population reduces drastically. And I know that every month the courts are supposed to send statistics of their remand cases in their various courts to the Chief Justice for review. And if the Chief Justice realizes that one particular court or people who have committed very minor offenses are being remanded into prison custody unjustifiably, he could take corrective measures by way of institutional policy. One other thing that I think that must be done to ensure that the criminal justice system of Ghana meets international standards is to introduce into the system plea bargaining. If plea bargaining as a criminal justice policy is introduced.
Which one is that?
Plea bargaining, it simply means the accused person and the prosecution would sit down and agree. The accused person agrees that he or she has committed an offense, and then prosecution decides, together with the accused person, they agree on specific punishment. Let me give you an example. In my court today, someone who was charged with possession of narcotic drugs agreed to plead guilty to use of narcotic drug. That is a simple example of plea bargaining. Prosecution agreed, prosecution did not object to that proposal, so he was convicted for use of narcotic drugs and was sentenced to 5 years imprisonment. Well, that has reduced the court time that would be spent in court. He knows that his 5-year sentence is definite. He will go to prison, serve 5-year sentence, and after that he is gone. So it reduces the time spent in court, and then also it affects the financial obligation, the resources that go into trials. So I believe that if Ghana as a country adopts plea bargaining, it will reduce, it will increase the work within the criminal justice system. Yeah. Thank you.
And before we go, Gifty, before the judges can come to the prisons and hear cases of remand prisoners, a team would have to go around the various prisons, collect all the names, do a bit of background check before these names are presented. And Paul's Foundation has been doing that over the years. And I have with me here the executive director, Jonathan Osewusu. So you, from here, I understand you are going to Tamale on a similar exercise. You've been here, and how do you select the people or the inmate to appear before the judges?
In terms of the selection, it is not within our purview. There is a remand review task force headed by Justice Honyenuga, and then we sit, and then there's a criteria we use to follow. It is after the criteria or the selection has been made, that is where our job begins. So a team of lawyers and paralegals will travel to the prisons and then have conference with the prison inmates. Particularly, I mean, we deal with remand inmates only. So after interviewing them, we get back to prepare their applications. And when the applications are filed at the various high court, then my lord and his team will come and sit where today you saw that the state attorney, the various state attorneys and police investigators, as well as defense lawyers, were all in court to defend them. Because as a matter of fact, we are a human rights NGO, and all we seek to do is to promote and protect the human right of the average prisoner, particularly those on remand. And if you look at Article 14.4, that is where our strength lies in terms of unreasonable delay in terms of the remand cases in our various courts. So that is what basically we want.
The Justice for All program is in its 10th year. How would you assess it?
During the inauguration of the Justice for All program, the remand population was around 30.7%. Now, as we're talking, the remand population is around 13.6. So you can see that there has been significant reduction of remand population. And I will also want to say that whilst I'm talking about the successes, to thank the various judges that have sat on this case. In fact, it's a marathon for them. Traveling midnight and etc., all in the interest of promoting human rights and making sure that justice is served for the average Ghanaian in the prisons. And so it's something that I will always not forget, but continue to commend the judges for that. In any case, if you go to the UN, one of the remarkable thing that is said about Ghana in terms of our criminal justice system is the Justice for All program. And so I'm not surprised the judges are so much happy and committed to the work in terms of getting people freed who deserve to be freed, and those who deserve to be convicted are also convicted, for the prisons to be decongested.
Thank you. So, Gifty, let's bring our coverage of today's proceedings to an end. And I'm just a visitor, though I'm inside the prison, and this gives me a chance to go out to the prison. So take it over from me, Gifty.
Okay, Seth Kwame Boateng, thank you very much. And of course, all of these people who have been freed are eternally grateful to you and the team, of course, and I'm sure to join you. Seth Kwame Boateng did that story, Left to Rot, and I've forgotten that one. But anyway, he's coming to us live from Kumasi prisons there. We understand that so far 11 people have been discharged, and that's certainly a very good thing. 9 of them were absent, but so far 55 in all have had their cases heard. That's to say that the 120 inmates that we're looking at, the sitting will have to continue tomorrow. It's still watching the pulse with me, Gifty and Opia.